How would you describe it? Were you held captive? Were you retained for 8 months?
Yeah, I was detained. I would say formally arrested because it was like a formal arrest process. He said, okay, we think you're this. They went through loads of questioning for like 2 or 3 days. And then in the end, they concluded, okay, we thought Miles was a weapons dealer between Afghanistan and Ukraine because Miles keeps going to Ukraine it was just for journalism. They thought I was buying up US weapons and selling them in Ukraine. And Russian intelligence sent that to the Taliban saying, hey, we want to check this guy out if he comes back. And they were like, yeah, he's definitely not a weapons dealer. There's no evidence of it. It doesn't make any sense. And then they were like, okay, what else? Oh, yeah, he's not a spy. So after a while, they interrogated me for a few days on that. They were like, Miles, we know you're a spy. Just sit down. Tell us what you do. Show us a few documents, and we'll let you go. We don't waste resources on you. I was like, I'm not a spy, man. And they were like, actually, Miles, we know you're a spy, 100%. We actually want to learn off you, teach us, and then we'll let you go. That's a fair exchange. We'll even pay you potentially. I'm like, no, all good. I'm not a spy, man. Seriously. And then it went to, oh, yeah, we know you're a spy. Just give up the act. We understand you have to do that for training. Otherwise you're gonna be stuck here for years for a legal process, but we know you're a spy. You might get a way worse penalty. Just admit it and say, yeah, it's part of the game, and we respect that, and we'll let you go in like a few months. I'm like, no, spy. So in the end, they concluded, oh, Miles isn't a spy. He's not a weapons dealer. The only thing they had me on was I went to the gold mine sites. It was a remote area, and it's a mountain. I didn't have a permit to go there. So that's generally my fault. I do apologize to that. So I shouldn't have had that permit. But they were like, no permit, but we got to do everything by the book. So minimum sentence, we'll give him that minimum sentence and keep him as comfortable as possible. 6 months, easy.
So it's 2 months of figure out what the hell's going on, and then...
Yeah, 2 months of... No, 2 months of paperwork with the British government.
What was the British government doing on their end while this was all going on?
Oh, they're trying to contact people. So the British government doesn't have a relationship with the Taliban at all. There's no embassy, even though the EU embassy does have that. But ever since Brexit happened, there's a spy relationship. So they've got like a few Taliban contacts. So we randomly just call WhatsApps and just see how far they can get it. Like, if we can get into, Miles's link. And then I told them, I was like, oh, hey, Foreign Office, how you doing? Anyway, the guy you just spoke to was like the head of foreign intelligence, and they're like, wait, was he? We don't have that on file. What's the guy's name? And I'm like, oh, screw me. It's bad when they have no idea who they're talking to. You can look at the WhatsApp name and Google it. It comes up with that guy. So I'm saying, like, I think I'm gonna be here a little while, because anyone who works in government, as you can imagine, man, I think you relate here. Anyone in government has no intuition and no just common sense at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's pretty universal. No matter what country you're in, what government you're working with, there seems to be a steady level of incompetence.
Yeah, it's a struggle, man. So after that happened, I was like, okay, I'm going to chill. But after all the interrogations and stuff, I got taken into this tropical garden area in the back of the headquarters. And there was peacocks around. There was like, just a bunch of grass, beautiful trees, fruit growing everywhere. And I sat in the gazebo with the commander, and there was tea, and there was some nuts and like Western food. I was like, nice, can I have some? It's like, yeah, of course, man, this is for you. And they go, oh, we want to keep you comfortable, Miles. We actually want you to do business here. We learned who you are. Turns out half our guys follow you on Twitter because they think you're chill. You're kind of cool like that. And I was like, thanks, man. I think you're cool too, And they were like, actually, yeah, we like what you do. If you want to write a second book, which you read your first one, just, we think that's nice. If you want to write a second book, you absolutely can. We'll give you paper and pens, no problem. You can be completely honest. We just ask that you be honest 100% throughout. I go, yeah, I can definitely do that. Anything else you want? When you're arrested, we can give you some stuff. All right, so you're arrested with $1,000. Here's $1,000 spending money. So you just give it to some of the guards or ask to go to the market and you get supervised, anything you want.
Hey, do you still have your Bitcoin on an exchange? Don't hold your Bitcoin on an exchange. Take it into self-custody. If you're looking for an easy way to do that, we have the BitKey. BitKey is Bitcoin made easy to use and hard to lose. Take the first step. Get your Bitcoin off the exchange. Check out the link in the show notes. That'll get you 20% off your BitKey, or use the code TFTC20 at checkout.
And he also said, like, oh, yeah, you want your laptop? I was like, yeah, I want my laptop. Hell yeah, that'd be great. So I was buying movies from the market on USB stick, and I was watching the new Barbie with the Taliban, Titanic, Rambo 3, 80s and 90s classic shooters, odd, everything, man. Every meme movie I had downloaded, all this other stuff. And the thing is, too, so I didn't tell you where I was staying. I was staying in a guest house. It wasn't a formal prison because it was like minimum security stuff. Like a small crime, small prison, you know? It was just a converted house with a locked door. It was chill. It was quite nicely furnished, too, for the standards of the place. And I was just enjoying myself. So in there, I was just chilling, watching movies with the Taliban, had loads of books downloaded. They gave me a Bible. So that's my situation at the beginning, man.
Was there any point where you worried you weren't going to get out?
Yeah, my first phone call to my friend, he told me my best friend had died. You know the one who fumbled and lied about me being a spy?
Mm-hmm.
So he was like, "Oh, he was like, you're a friend." I'll keep him nameless, but he was like, "The other guy who's with you, he hasn't responded to any of our messages, and he just went into a surgery way before, and apparently had a falling out, which he didn't disclose." So he said, "Oh, he went in for that surgery that was like very urgent, and he has died. Like something's happened. We haven't heard from him. We think he's dead." So I'm like, "Oh, okay, well, it's terrible." But I was like, I can process that, no problem. But I had a downer, you know. Turns out he's completely alive. So I found that out, like, you know, when I got back. That was very interesting. So I actually hung out with him today. A lovely chap. He's coming back to Afghanistan, me. But that was a very stressful thing. Oh, the other stressful thing too. I had like $20 that I haven't paid on my American Express at that point. So 8 months in Afghanistan, they're like sending me emails every single day. They even took it to a debt collection agency for $20.